Hello, everyone. What an amazing, relaxing opportunity to talk to all of you. What we're going to do today. Oh, hello. If you're just joining us off the internet, it's a delight to get to meet you. We've been doing is we're running a completely free programming bootcamp, learning about web development. And we're wrapping up tomorrow. Our optional guest will wrap up our 5th week out of 6, which is really exciting. I can't brag about all of y'all enough. Um, the learners, all of you have done just an amazing job doing so much. And today, what we're going to do, and we're going to do this in our signature, very stressful, very intense way, is what we're going to do is we're going to just take a little bit of a look at our product landing page project. I think this is going to be an especially short session, just because we've done a couple projects before. We want to talk about the project a bit, do some question answer, and then let you escape. And instead of me talking through these things you've done before, really have you all do it on your own, just to make it scarier and meaner. How does that sound? You say, "Oh, Jess, we just love it when," and it's not going to be scary at all. Let's go ahead. I'm just wobbling things around. Wobbling is a very, very deeply technical term. And let's take a look at what we're going to be building today. So this is one of our 5 free code camp projects. Cool. And let me go ahead and chuck into the chat. Here's the project example. All fine, all mellow, all easy. And this is a product landing page. These are super common. I know you've seen one of these before. And this is kind of like, it's not even a shop. It's, oh, hey, here's what we are. Here's what we do. You could give us your email address if you want to learn more. Yeah. So it's something a lot of people do in startups. I think it's a fantastic thing to have in your portfolio when you first go and look for tech jobs. And so let's go ahead and take a look. Kai makes a really good point to say, oh, it seems like we're getting projects more often. We've only got one more project to go next week, and that's our scariest one. Everything's fine. And the nice thing here is y'all can be as creative as you want to be. It's got to be stuff. If you're going to put it in the chat or if you're going to put it in the forum, it's got to be stuff that meets the bootcamp's code of conduct. So nothing too sassy. But also, I'd really like to see you all use these with interviews. So make sure you're using something. If you're going to use it for an interview for your portfolio, make sure that it's something you're okay with showing your future boss. Here we've got somebody who did a trombones one as an example, and they've done a lot here. Check this out. We've got some links at the top, and those, remember we learned these links where they use the hash and they go to a different section of the page. We can do this. So it's got some links. It's got a footer. Okay, it's got a video embedded. I don't know if, let's see if that's required. We haven't done one of those yet. Those are nice and stressful. But really, it just looks really laid back and really cool. You've got a good, here's why you should get this trombone. Let's take a look. Scary. Not scary at all. None of this is bad. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to build an app, not even a web page, an application. But it's fine. It's fine. An application is a web app is just a web page that does some extra stuff. And here it's not going to do that much. It's not going to hurt us. So let's just talk about our user stories. Everything's going to be chill. So our product landing page should have a header. That's chill. And you know what? This is telling us to start with the header, but I'm not going to tell you any of it. You all, because I'm very lazy and mean, you all have to tell me what structure comes in before we're adding a header. What's the first thing I write up here? What's the parent element, the great-great-grandparent element, the parent element of everybody? Yeah, what do I need to put in before I put in this header that's in user story 1? And then I've got a image inside my header element with a class of header image. Here it's saying, oh, you know, a logo. Look at y'all. And some folks are saying, hey, I haven't even started my last project. These projects are big and we are going so fast. There's no deadlines. It's not going to hurt you. And these videos are going to continue to exist. Tracy, perfect. You say, Jess, don't you do a thing until you put that doc type up. And Kai's got even more. Said, hey, you do need to put up that doc type, but then you've got the HTML as your great great grandparent element. And don't forget to specify our language in there. Super chill. Let's do that real fast just to sort of mentally. So our doc type, it always starts with that exclamation point. We've done that a little bit. Our HTML is sort of our big parent element, isn't it? We're going to close that as well. And here the language is in English just because I'm not very good at languages. This, I don't think this is going to pass any tests. I'm going to take a deep breath and come all the way down. I think that this is just the structure we need. This is just something that they expect us to do, and they're not going to give us any test points for doing this. We're just doing it because it's semantically correct. Look at all these tests, though. Yikes. Take a deep breath and come all the way up. All right. Oh, we've got some other stuff we need to do. Yeah, Kai, thank you. Say, hey, you know what? We need the head tag and a meta and link to our style sheet. We do definitely need to link to our style sheet. And we've got to define our viewport within the meta tag. Okay. Everything's fine and everything's going to be fine. And here you might say, oh, what this is what it's asked for, our header tag. I say, no, ha ha ha. This is our head tag. Our header tag is going to come in here in the body. I think it's not even just going to go in the body. Oh, is a header? Oh, does header go in main? Does header go in main? Semantically, is our header this section that has our logo and maybe our H1? Do we think that goes in main? Where are we? So our head, we definitely need to link to our style sheet. And I'm going to be the worst teacher because I'm not going to do all of the setup. Wait. That's not how link works. I'm going to intentionally do this incorrectly just to save time, just to zip on. Link the relative style sheet and the ref where we're throwing that link. Oh, heck. There we go. The ref goes to styles, CSS. Okay, I'm going to oh, no, not rename. Thank you very much. I'd like to format my thank you. That feels a bit better. So this is not correct. Y'all yell at me about what's missing because I can think of something that's missing here on line 6. I can think of something that's missing on line 7. But while you yell at me the stuff that definitely needs to be here, I'm going to skip it. This is very much a do as I say, not as I do. Actually, I'm not going to completely skip it. Let me just say title. We go here. And viewport. Just to give, yeah. And this could be something I'm doing for you all, the learners, saying, hey, oh, yeah. Hair set as well. So I'm skipping a bunch of stuff just to be mean. But I've given you some hints of what I'm skipping in here. And head. This is a really good question. Should header... Oh, and look, somebody else asks the same question. Should header be inside main? And that's really the question I wanted. Oh, thank you very much. And Kai's pointing out, oh, I went to get the document. Thank you very much. And said, you know what? The main tag specifies the main content of the document. Okay. And it should be unique to the document. It shouldn't contain any content that's repeated. Okay. And this is really a semantic woofle from me. Here we've got somebody from Stack Overflow. Well, keep them separate, Yeah. Ooh. Only one pane per page. I'm getting a couple different opinions here. Don't put your header, footer, and main. A lot of people are saying don't put header. Header contains introductory navigational aids. Okay. Let's leave it outside of main this time because that feels like it carries the most semantic meaning, huh? Oh, we do definitely need to put it in the body though, don't we? So we're just doing this setup. And Carlos makes a really good point to say, do you know what? Feeling out where it makes the most sense for some of these things to live. Obviously, we want to look them up. We want to look at the best practices. But as we start to put this on the page, you kind of feel where it goes a bit more. Yeah. And Logan's saying, you know what? It sounds like we should also not have the top nav bar and the footer probably shouldn't be in main as well. Don's got it. Header and footer should be outside of main because main is sort of the meat of your website sandwich. We can think of header and footer as the bread, might be a good way to say it. Or, you know what? Main could be the cheese, or could be your delightful vegetables, or could be your veggie burger. So let's go ahead and do a header here because I think we want to go ahead and do user story number 1, just to get that done and have it feel a little bit satisfying, huh? And while I'm going, y'all fuss at me if you have any questions at all, yeah? F makes a really good point to say, look, you know what? It's telling us in the user stories, if we look in here, it's telling us that we've got a nav element, and we can, if we're putting our nav element in the header, that's much more distinctly not main. Yeah, nav, not main. Nav is like if we continue our sandwich analogy, what is nav? Nav is like your placemat, which is also a menu that your sandwich sits on. Tells you what the deal is with your sandwich. I got it. I got it. I got it. If your website is a sandwich and your header and footer are the bread, and your main is the filling, then the nav is the little tiny flag that tells you what's going on with your sandwich. Does that make sense? I think it might be very old-fashioned American diner to put like a little flag that says grilled cheese, or a flag that says well done in a sandwich, but I'm a very old-fashioned lady. Header. So we've got our header. We've got half of this one done because the corresponding ID is header. Okay. I'm gently and politely sure that we're going to get at least one tick when we come down to our test. Like, take a deep breath. Whew. And let's run our tests. Everything's fine. We got that. We got a little tick for our test saying, hey, we should have a header element. We're going to come right back up. Woof. And let's keep bopping along. We had a really good question to say, hey, yeah. So I like this question. Why are they requiring a header to have an ID when I could just target the header in CSS? And this is a free CodeCamp specific thing. This isn't necessarily how you'd want to structure it, but they're using automated tests. So they don't have a person very quickly going, wait, yeah, I see your header. What they're doing is they're having their own program scan your code and say, hey, I see a header, and it's got the ID we asked for. So this is really sort of an automated test kind of deal, I think, why we're specifically adding these specific IDs. Where am I? Where are we? Who are we? Okay, inside our header, I'm going to add an image. Right? Oh gosh, you all are going to have to give me, what kind of product are we doing? I'm gonna source that completely from y'all because I have no idea. We have an image screen. We also have an alt, just because we're real cool. Where am I? Oh, we've got an ID. So you all are going to have to tell me what kind of example page we're making. And the cool thing about this is it doesn't have to be trombones. It doesn't have to be a digital thing. If you're learning to build websites because you are a hairdresser, or because you're a filmmaker, and you want to promote your own stuff, genuinely, sincerely make this for your real product, because you can go ahead and just copy the code and we'll get that online. Yeah. We got folks saying tacos and ham. Let's pick something that's not food. If that's can y'all give me a weird suggestion? Sorry, I'm like, "Give me yeah, whatever suggestion." And I'm like, "Nah. Yeah, give me something weird." Although asking the internet to give me something weird is a little bit stressful, isn't it? Image screen. Um, I'm gonna make an imaginary one. And I'm not. I'm gonna go to Wikimedia. And this is hot linking. I definitely don't want y'all hot linking in the real world, but for now, I'm going to uh huh. I want I'm gonna do one for I'm gonna you know what? I don't think that we need a product landing page for this, but the internet loves cats. How do I do a product landing page for cats? Where am I? Okay, here we've got a picture of a bunch of cats. I'm going to use this as my logo. Yeah. So, a photo showing multiple different beautiful cats. Yeah. Y'all are just giving me lovely bonkers things, and I've gone for the most boring thing possible. Say, I'm doing cats. And this is too big. I'm going to go ahead and change the. Oh, let's make my instructions a little smaller. But even if I get more space, this is a huge picture, isn't it? I'm going to come into styles and do something with that already. So take a deep breath, whew, down and run our tests. And we see that we were getting some more, we're getting some more ticks. This is great. So we've got our header element, cool, cool, cool. We've got our image and our image has the right ID. That's cool. It should be a descendant of the header. Amazing. And then we've got our header image is formatted correctly. It's got the source attribute. The source points at a valid URL. So really, we're getting a bunch of test points out of just doing this image correctly. And here, it was header image, wasn't it? Was the class. I'm going to use my curly babies out. Goodbye instructions. There we go. And I'm going to say, do you know what? That's a little bit big. How about the width is 50% of the view width? That feels a little bit less stressful, doesn't it? Because it was just very conceptual. Even if I wanted it to be much bigger, I can go ahead and add some CSS now just to make it better to sort of conceptually grapple with while I work. And you know what I could even do and say, that's not the size I really want it to do. How about I highlight this? Solid yellow. Okay, anything where this needs to be changed, I'm going to add a yellow border around the element just to remind myself to come back. I could leave myself comments. That would probably be a better way to do it. But this is giving me a very good, like, it's not quite, that's a placeholder. That's a temporary one. I don't want to keep it. And I kind of like this as a fun trick. But in the meantime, I'm going to say, let's hypothetically say, I love these cats. These are perfect. These cats are my logo, especially the surprise looking one in the middle. Where are we? Good day, CSS. I appreciated your time. Let's come back to our instructions. And the nice thing about setting this to a responsive size is, especially as we're wobbling around with this, it means that I'm always able to see what's going on. Okay, so we've done, all right, we've done 1 and 2. That's super chill. Everything's chill. And then number 3, let's do this one together in a very laid back way. And y'all know the rules. I'm not going to do all of this with you. Just do about 45 minutes, less than an hour, less than usual. We'll just do about 45 minutes of this together. And then we will peacefully, lovingly bop on. Yeah. Where are Carlos is pointing out we could highlight it with like a chubby, real chunky, like bold pink border. And I'd be tempted to let that sit just because that's very, very brave. I like a pink border. So we're gonna still be inside our header element. Okay. And I'm really happy here. I don't know if we can see this when I hover over it. We should. Oh, we don't see the alt text at all when I hover over it. Let's go ahead and as we go, just continue to format our document just so we've got this space, everything feels okay. Coming in here, I want a nav element. And a nav box, the same way a div is a box, but this box contains more semantic meaning. This box is a box just for navs. Oh, so this nav element has an ID. I'm seeing some really good discussion in the chat of folks talking about, oh, do I just have one header per page? And Jeff is pointing out, and a couple other people are pointing out that if you have things like articles on the page or sections on a page, that having headers for each article or each set. So let's talk about where you get your images from, because oh no, this is something I had to like stretch out for. So I think to talk about where the images come from gets to be a little bit difficult because we need to talk about hosting. Yeah. And I think it's important. Right now, we're just working on the web. So I've been hot linking is how you say borrowing an image via the web. And we really don't want to do that as a general rule. Does anybody remember why we don't want a hot link? There's a couple of very, very good reasons. First one is it's very rude, but there's some very practical reasons as well. When you're ready to make your website in the real world, so outside of this tutorial environment, one thing you're going to have to grapple with is hosting. And there's a bunch of different services. You can put it up on GitHub Pages is a really good place to start. It's free. And there's a lot of folks helping out with that. But you're going to need to create, and hosting is sort of your own digital space. It's like a disk drive on someone else's computer that's reserved for you. And what you do when you put your website live in the real world is you upload your HTML file. Whew, so that goes boom onto someone else's server and gets served whoop, to your users who are going to come visit your site. You also upload your CSS. So those both live together. And then you would also, to your own hosting provider, upload your images in the real world. But for now, hopefully, Wikimedia won't be too mad at us if we just borrow it from Wikimedia. Logan makes a really good point to say, you know what? The original host could delete the picture or they could change it. If I'm using this picture that's called Wikimedia Cats Poster 1, they could change it so it's a picture of butts with the exact same name. And that would make butts show up on my cat picture. It could be cat butts. And Verami also correct, you know what? They might move the picture. You could also get in legal trouble. This isn't my picture. Woo. So actually, it might make sense. I'll go ahead and I'll keep doing some streaming stuff after the boot camp. I'm so sorry it'll probably be on Twitch instead of YouTube, just because the YouTube channel I'm using for this is Class Centrals. Thank you very much. And some of the things I wanted to talk about, sort of streaming in between the boot camps, are stuff like hosting, stuff like how to get a text editor set up and an environment set up outside of these tutorial things. So if you all have any questions, oh, I always wanted to learn this, or how do we do that? Let me know, and I'm super happy to see if we can make time to do it between this boot camp and the next time we run it, because I hate free time. Nav. Okay, so we're going to create a nav, and it's going to say navbar. Okay, we can do this. And do you know what I'm going to do? Nav. I'm not promising anything. I'm definitely not gonna keep streaming 4 times a week outside of the I love all of y'all, but it's gonna be winter here soon, and it's gonna be deep breath down. Whew. We've done this nav bar. I think I should get one more little check for this. And what I'm doing is I'm coming down. Oh, this is a really exciting programming thing to talk about, and it's not about programming at all. I want to talk to you all about brain chemicals. So that's weird. No, it's cool. It's cool. One of the nice things about these tests is it's giving us these little tick, 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 ticks, these little yes, good jobs. And I love these little yes, good jobs. And the reason I'm running my tests, even when I've made little changes, is because I want these little tiny reward chemicals. Yeah. So when you do a good job or when you accomplish a task, your brain wants you to do more of that. So your brain is going to give you some dopamine. And that's a brain chemical that we get as a what is it called? It's a completion reward. So you do a good job, you get a little dopamine, it feels good, and you want to keep doing it. So here's what we're going to do. Uh, Logan makes a good point. We are actively chasing dopamine here. And that's those of you who are learning with Ramon, he does this little pat pat when he solves a difficult thing. That is the smartest thing in the world because what he's doing is he's reinforcing the dopamine reward. Ramon, evil genius him. But we are a little bit lazier than that. We're going to run our tests and we're going to bask in all of these little tick marks because look at this. We've got some extra check, 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 check. We are just awash in completion rewards. Everything's fine. Yeah. So it says, hey, you should have, and we already had these ones. It's cool. We love them. It's good. We've already got these, and now we have another two. Amazing, beautiful, faultless, perfect. And you might say, Jess, well, we already had all these tick marks. Of course, they're still going to be there. Let me tell you a story about programming. Because sometimes when you do a little bit more work, it breaks some of your earlier work. It just happens. It can't be avoided. I mean, it can be avoided by better programmers than me. I can't avoid it. So anytime you do some more work, you get extra checks and it doesn't break your old checks, that's something to celebrate. Cool, we're going to have 3 nav link elements. We're going to make some links. Everything's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath, whoop, and rock all the way back up. We did our nav elements. This is where it's getting a little bit sneaky here on number 4. I should see at least 3 clickable elements inside my nav element, each with the class nav link. The only clickable elements I can really, ooh, you know what? I can think of a couple clickable elements. I lied. The clickable elements that I think we've used the most often. Because a button's technically clickable, isn't it? We did a bunch of buttons in forms and they're clickable. I mean, they're kind of like a link, aren't they? But I think I'm going to do 3 links, huh? A, ref, whoop, and I'm going to do those links completely with the wrong syntax. These 3 links are children of the navbar. Oh, let's hang on. Come here. Sorry, I'm saying come here like I'm yelling at y'all. So let's talk about children just to reinforce this. We've got our body. The header is the child of the body. The image is the child of the header. And then our nav bar, it's not inside the image. So it's not a child of the image. I guess we could say it's the sibling. It's the image's sister. But it's still a child of header. And one reason that I really like to format our document is it'll automatically indent in. So the parent will be a little bit to the left of the child, and their child would be a little bit over to the right as well. So as children become children of children, they just get indented over a little bit more to help make it easier to see who's the boss of who. So we're going to have 3 with the class. Fabulous. Why are we doing this as a class and not an ID? So these 3 links are going to have the class of navlink. Someone who is not me, because I talk too much, is going to tell me why these are not IDs, these 3. And I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to make... I'm just going to make all of these go to different cat things. Oh, wait. Oh, no, I'm not going to make, I'm so sorry. I was going to make all of these links external because I did not read the instructions well enough. I was like, oh, I'm going to link to Wikipedia all over the place. No, I'm not. Logan, oh, look at all of y'all. Every time I ask a question, I think, oh, I'd forget this. Y'all just bounce in Rio Chill to say, I mean, obviously, we're not going to make these IDs because an ID should be unique. There should only be one on a page. Tammy's got it. Kai says this so much gracefully than I do. Said, well, an ID is always just unique, just targeting that one. Whereas class is we're putting multiple ones of these in a club. Logan saying, we want to style them. Ooh, this is a really good practical point to say, we want to apply the same CSS rules. So having these in a class is really useful. And then comes in with the 1-2 punch and says, also, IDs have to be unique. Don, you make such a blissful point, and I love this. And you say, hey, can I have these nav links? Would it be better to have these in an unordered list? It's really what feels most reasonable to you. So this is your product landing page. We can do this however you want. And I think unordered list sounds like a fantastic idea. Notice this has not done a hacking thing yet. I'm going to delete these because I'm going to do something very sneaky. I've only got one link now, and I'm going to wrap that in an opening closing li tag. Go ahead and make these. Messy. Can I clean this up with format? I can clean this up with format document. And I think I should get a bunch of points for this, except when I click the nav link buttons in the nav element, it should take me to the corresponding section of the landing page. This is suggesting that I need to do a little bit of work in main. What kind of work in main do we think we need? I think I need different section elements in main. Well, if I'm trying to sell people on the concept of cats, what kind of topics do I want to talk about? Cuteness, smartness. Smartness is not really a word, is it? Cats on the internet. Smartness is me setting a very bad example. Have I spelled intelligence wrong? That's embarrassing. It's not embarrassing. I spelled oh, you search for intelligence, you just get a lot of pictures of robots thinking. Oh, we've got folks like, oh, show me links to funny cats, ugly cats. Unfortunately, I cannot show you any ugly cats because actually all cats are beautiful. There's no such thing as an ugly cat. So I want to sell you on I want you to buy. I don't want you to buy. I want you to adopt. I want the person coming to my website to understand why they should adopt a cat. My product is cats. Not a very compelling product, but this is just an example. You all should probably take a much better scoped product. But I'm going to use these. So I think I need multiple. I think I also need an ID. Yeah, I need an ID. I'm going to make IDs that correspond to all of these. Why am I making... Logan makes a good point. We should talk about chunkiness, like big, poofy, snuggly cats. Who doesn't like a real big cat? And can anybody tell me why I might be making these IDs? These IDs I think are going to be super important. Oh, do you know what? I'm absolutely wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong all day. Carlos is saying, oh, search for the Egyptian cat. It's pretty ugly. Do you mean hairless cats are pretty ugly? I've been saying there's no way to fail in this class. There's nothing bad can happen, but maybe I'm going to invent a way to fail. No, those hairless cats are cute in their own way. So here I'm going to come into main. I've got my header. I'm going to go ahead and make these sections. I'm going to give them all blank IDs. Close my section. I'm especially excited because I'm going to be fostering some cats next week. Just taking care of them for a little while. And this is why I might have cats on the brain. So if we have our classes next week and there's just cats all over the place, please know that this is as good as my life gets. So here we've got cuteness, intelligence, and cats on the internet. So I'm going to make corresponding IDs for these. Cuteness, intelligence, and internet. So I'm keeping an eye on who's picking on different kinds of cats just so I can come and get you. This probably isn't a very good scoped choice. Like, I'm not selling people cats. I'm selling people on adopting cats. There we go. Hang on. A header. Cat. There we are. It's a little more producty. Hey, I want you to. And this is something we might call a call to action in sort of marketing speak. And this is saying, hey, let me do my product manager voice. We really want to make sure that somebody coming to this, I don't know why that's my product manager voice. We really want somebody to come to this page and know what we want them to do. Our call to action here is, here's what I want you to do. So here I say, adopt a cat today. That's what I want our users to do. And I'll probably add a link. So sign up to adopt a cat and I'll get your email. Jeff is pointing out that fostering cats is a slippery slope to cat parenthood. I bet money that, obviously you are absolutely wrong, and I'm not going to wind up with tons and tons of cats. So cuteness, it's got the hash of cuteness, and that's where our link goes. Click this link, it jumps down to where this empty section is. I think that's where we want to go. Intelligence, you will have seen me think I misspelled intelligence twice, so I'm just going to copy and paste it. And now oh, heck, that's not going to work a bit, is it? That'll work. And this last link is going to internet. Even though number 5 is saying, hey, build these nav links, there's some extra work implied here. And I wanted to highlight it and say, hey, when you click a nav link, it goes to the corresponding section of the landing page. And that means we need to create these IDs and then link to the IDs on the page. We learned this way back in the, we learned this 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, 5, 12, 2 years. I'm going to take a deep breath down. Whew, and we've got, look at this last one. We have to use Flexbox. Well, we can use Flexbox. I think this is the first time it's given us some, and you must do this cool CSS thing. Oh, we've got some cool, so I'm just cheating and looking ahead. We've got a form here. As well. This is going to be really hard, y'all. It's a good thing I don't have to do all of it. We're going to run our test. I've done it before, I promise. Ooh, that'd be a very mean teacher thing to be like, okay, you all do all the hard parts. I'll never do them. And look how much dopamine we have. Look at this. We're just piling up dopamine all over the place. So our nav element, that still works. Our nav element is still the child of the header. We didn't break that. Everything's fine. We definitely have 3 links in our nav bar, and they've got the right class. You know what? We're doing amazing. We are definitely cool and smart. Each of the links is properly formed. They've got a ref. They've got someplace they go. And look at this. They go to the right place. They say, I'm going to give you an extra little tick if this actually goes ahead and lands in the right place. Everything is going to be fantastic. Y'all be appropriate in the chat. I ain't messing about. You get exactly one warning and then I put you outside. So I'm going to come back up and take a look at what we're doing. We're going to watch and embed a product video. Have we done this before in any of ours? I don't think we've done a video. So I'm going to look for. Thank you very much for Kai being just as mean as not. That's not even mean. Just as robust around appropriateness. Like the whole point of doing this boot camp for free is to make sure everybody feels welcome and chill. So we're going to try this video element. Have we seen this at all so far? So the video element embeds a media player. And I don't think we've done this at all. So I might cheat and steal the whole thing. Yeah? Let's take a look. And you will remind me, like if we have done video before, let me know. But what we're going to do here is it says, I can watch an embedded product video with the ID video. I think we haven't done this at all, so I'm going to cheat, and it's not really cheating. And I'm going to copy all of this to see what it does on my page. Where am I? Where do I want this? Where are we? Who are we? So I click the nav, like, I can watch an embedded product video. I think the embedded product video should probably live in main, some of the main content. And because I went ahead and borrowed the entirety of this, let me go ahead and format this code as well. I get something that just automatically magically works. Oh, except it doesn't actually work because this path, the folders that this exists on, these are hosted on the MDN. It's their hosting. We don't have a path to those. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into another browser just because I'm going to go into YouTube. And sometimes YouTube brings up some reasonably gnarly things in search, and I don't want to accidentally show y'all something rude. We're coming in, and I'm going to say, who is a cat's home? Cats. Oh, what's a cat charity in the UK? RSPCA. There we go. I'm going to get a video of. Oh no! Oh no! I'm going to get this video because it's cute. So I don't think I need to give people the option to download it. And this is kind of hard, isn't it? Will it still work if I take that away? I mean, it doesn't work now. So if I say, I want this YouTube, does that work? This is definitely going to be pat territory, isn't it? Embed a YouTube video, HTML. Oh, I want my pointy babies. embed a YouTube video in HTML using the video tag. So we've got a bunch of videos about how to do that. HTML YouTube videos. I don't want to do an iframe. How have they done this in the product landing page? View page source. That's far too small, isn't it? Ooh, they've done a lot of fancy things. Navbar. Container, grid. I don't need fast shipping. Oh, we see they're using grid here. That's quite nice. Okay. Ooh. Look at this. Remember how I said we could steal? Let's steal. Sorry, that sounds a little bit too excited, doesn't it? I'm going to copy this snippet of code because I love to steal. You say, Jess, are you setting a good example? I say, I'm setting a good stealing example. That works. Yeah, they're still using iframe here. I'm going to format my document. And my section ID isn't how it works. It's cat video. What I'm going to do in here is I'm going to take this YouTube video I actually want. Ooh. I'm going to get rid of what I was doing here. So this is what I copied from MDN and it didn't work. That still works. We didn't break it. What I'm going to do is, so we've got section iframe ID equals video. So this is really hard because this gave us a really complicated thing to do, which we've never seen before. So we had to go look up how to do videos. Woof. We had to try and copy from somewhere else and it didn't work. We had to go look at the source code of our example and steal from them. And that worked just fine. That didn't hurt us a bit. And the video we're going to wind up with, if this works, is going to be extremely cute. That's okay. It can't hurt us. It's just stuff being wrong. Okay. Let's take a look at what two things we were doing and why this maybe didn't work. So I think what's going on here is, and let's talk a little bit about URLs. Let's talk about web addresses for a second, because this web address looks like a special kind of web address. This one, let me make you a comment. Can I make you a comment? There we are. Everything's fine. And Jeff and Kai are both making a good point. Say, when we're embedding videos here, it's not really embedding a file using the video tag, which we might do with our own hosting. But this is using a weird kind of encoding. This is a little bit challenging, isn't it? And the thing I want to talk about briefly, and I think this is something that is going to mess y'all up because it messed me up, is this URL looks completely different than the regular old URL. Actually, let me show you where I'm stealing this from. RSPCA. I'm not stealing, I'm bragging on them. We've got a website about what it's like to be a care assistant with a big old chubby good cat. Who doesn't love this? And here, I just copied this URL, this web address, and that didn't work. Oh, this is where we stole that. That was quite fun. And do you know what I think is going on is we've got these series of letters and numbers as part of the video address, don't we? I wonder if this isn't a specific embed because it's saying, hey, this is YouTube, but it's YouTube with no cookies. Oh, heck. With no extra information. Yep. And Platypus makes a good point. when we talk about cookies, we're talking about tracking materials. We're talking about when somebody gives you a digital cookie, it's, hey, I'm going to put a little digital tracker on you. It's not actually as nice as having a cookie. And then this URL says, hey, I want to embed. And then a string of letters and numbers that looks, oh, Jeff is pointing out if we want to get recursive, we could put this, we could put the video for this web stream in this. No, gosh, that would be a hellscape. And Kai's got a good point to say, hey, this works. This works uploading videos. So if you're doing your own hosting, this works really well. The video and controls, and it's really stripped down. We're doing this a little bit weird because I want to abstract away hosting for now. Hosting exists. We're going to imagine it. I think this is the YouTube address for this video. I think if I copy Y8YV4PN707Qs, I think if I copied that into here, I'm going to get this video of a trombone. Is that true? I get a video. That's weird. Okay. Look, it's trombones. It's trombones. So if that works, swapping these address strings, these strings, I wonder if I take this string from my cats and put him here. Cats. Everything's fine. And Platypus is saying, oh, heck. Sorry about that. I didn't want to just cough directly into the mic. That seems like next level rudeness. Platypus is saying we think we might be able to get rid of everything after the question mark as well, because that feels like it might be tracking info. I definitely don't trust this AMP. These controls, I wonder if these can we? Hey, we can get rid of everything after the question mark. So really, the secret code we needed was HTTPS, and we should talk about this another time. www.youtube-nocookie.com/embed, and then this weird letters and numbers code out of your YouTube address. That was unnecessarily hard. I think if it's not rude to steal from Ramon, I think this is a pat kind of thing. This was a little bit hard and weird, wasn't it? And those of you who are here live have extra homework, which is hang out in the forum and hang out in the Discord and help out anybody who gets stuck on this, because y'all got the inside track on how to do YouTube. What you get for showing up on time. Wonderful. That was really hard. I think we might only get 1 point for this, but I think this point is going to give us a lot of dopamine. What do y'all think? I'm going to take a deep breath and come all the way down. So we saw a video or iframe element. Oh, should have a screen element. It does. I think we should get at least these two, huh? Oh, somebody is praising the use of y'all. Y'all, I would argue, is one of the best English language additions. I also quite like Bab for here in the UK, but y'all is just a great, hey, you, but more than one of you. I hear some people say use, but that seems to be a regionalism I can't get into myself. I think y'all is very, very appropriate. I like it a lot. Cool. We've got these check marks for the video. Everything's fine, and everything's going to be fine. Oh, someone like Bab. So Bab is in the UK. We've got a bunch of different ways to say hun, or the equivalent of hun, like a short informal term of endearment. And I live in Birmingham, which is I'm gonna fight with some people in the chat. Who wants to fight? Birmingham is the best city in the United Kingdom. And we say Bab for hun. It's like, oh, how you doing, Bab? You all right, Bab? If you go further north, people say pet or duck. Oh, some people say love. Love's a bit old-fashioned, isn't it? It's quite charming. But folks are coming in to fight me, say, well, actually, Edinburgh's very nice as well, but Birmingham and Tyler's in the other Birmingham. Birmingham, quite cool. I'm just an Oh, actually, I'm going to talk to you about cities for a second. This has nothing to do with programming. And this is going to give me a great opportunity to actually leave you here because we've done the hardest part of this, I think. I definitely wanted, we can get rid of our comment because that works. I definitely wanted to get you through the video part because that's super hard and weird, isn't it? Yeah. Oh no, someone's in Jakarta. I love Jakarta. Y'all have just the best coffee, such a laid back city. I'm so jealous. But one thing I really like, so I've lived a bunch of different places. This has nothing to do with programming. Y'all can bop on if you're ready to go. Actually, where is everybody based? If it's not rude to ask. I got folks in Darla. Where's Darla? I don't know. I've always thought that it's very easy to love a city or love a place. Oh, someone's in Cleveland. I hear Cleveland has gotten very cool. I haven't been there since the 90s. Guy's based in Germany, but loves Scotland's its own vibe. I'm a big fan of Glasgow as well. And somebody in Massachusetts. I love how global these are. Um, but I've lived all over the world, and I really, really think that it gets to be easy to love a place, but it's kind of unusual to love a city or to love a town or to love a village and have it sort of love you back. And Birmingham's the first place I thought, I absolutely love this, where the city just consistently made it easy for me. If any of you ever visit, please message me. I'll give you all of these things to do in town. But Birmingham, extremely aggressive and cool. Oh, someone's in Basque Country in Spain. Ooh. I was immediately going to jump to food and be like, oh, yeah, like the cheesecake, but also like the really, really, does Basque Country in Spain, do you all have an extra holiday where people give each other's books as gifts? Am I remembering that correctly? I remember there's being some kind of holiday, possibly romantic in the Basque region, Basque Country, where folks give each other gifts, and that was really exciting. Oh, wonderful. I love how the New Yorkers are like, well, I live in New York and right specifically here. It's a very New York. I love, love, love that all of you are from so many weird and wonderful places. I will continue to big up Birmingham. If y'all ever come here, it's the city of 1,000 trades. We have more miles of canal than Venice. I don't know if that's true. But it is one of my favorite multicultural cities. It's just very, very relaxed, very easy. Um, and for having so much brutalist architecture, I think it's really beautiful. We just had the British Conservative Party have their conference here. And one of the younger conservatives came on social media to say, oh, Birmingham's so ugly. And that was a decision you could make. You could definitely say that if you wanted to. But it did not endear many to the party, I don't think. I'm going to stop talking about Birmingham on here. I'm always going to be talking about Birmingham on social media and to my friends and in my heart. But I'm going to let's talk homework really quickly. So I'd be really surprised if y'all were this far and tackling this project, not because I don't believe in you, but because this is a lot of stuff. One thing I would like to specifically ask for your homework is go ahead and get this framed out just to the point where you can do the video part, just because that part's really, really hard. If you get that part framed out, you can come back and do the rest of this project when you catch up to it or when suits you best. But for your homework, I'd love to see you just attack this. No. We're gentle, soft, relaxed. I'd love you to mosey through this project. Yeah. Dominica, you showed up just in time for homework. Oh gosh, Louise, you're in Panama City. I've always wanted to go. I'm so jealous. But I'd love to see you just mosey through this one and check it out. Those of you who didn't catch this live, definitely go back about 15 minutes earlier in the video and look at where we did this video section, because I think this video section, whoop, here we are. I think this video section was extremely hard. I think this one was kind of stressful. So please, for your homework, go ahead and mosey through this part and just make sure you get the video framed out while it's really clear in your mind. Aside from that, go back and work from where you're at or work from where you're best. And the most important homework, you know what your homework is. You know what your homework is. Your most important homework is to please be as gentle to yourself as possible as you learn. Nothing is broken, nothing is bad, nothing is wrong. There's no way to fail unless you're mean to cats. Um, but yeah, be as gentle as to yourself as you can as you learn. And we'll come back. So we've got an optional guest tomorrow. It's going to be, I think, an hour later than we usually do our class. Oh, it is. And we're going to have, I'm bragging to say he's a dear friend, but we're going to have Parham Dostar come and join us. And he's unreasonably brilliant. So he's the head of accessibility over at Booking. He's also just so funny and cool. And he's going to be talking to us about accessibility. And I'm really excited because it's not just his specialty, but he's also a screen reader user as a programmer. And I think that's really valuable. So bring any of the questions. It's going to be a very relaxed question and answer session. And Parham is just the nicest dude. I'm going to let all of y'all go. I'll see you in the forum. I'll see you in the Discord. Please, please, please fuss at us if you get stuck, okay? I'll let you go. Bye, loves.